This Hangout on Air is live. Hey, everybody. I am Rosie O'Kelly. This is the Rosie O'Kelly channel. Just trying to get a few things fixed on here. Getting a live streaming set up for you guys. Those of you who enjoy, I know I have a limited audience here today. It's not for everybody. Hey, James, nice to see you. Good afternoon to you, but we are back in the shop today. It's a Sunday, and I have to say I'm feeling pretty darn good this afternoon for the first time in probably one solid week. I feel well enough to be out. Thank you, James. Much appreciated. I feel well enough to be out here and getting some work done on the Sony STR-7065. Rob, nice to see you. Good afternoon to you, my friend, and welcome to the workshop. We have the 1972 top of the line, the Sony 7065, STR-7065. And I will tell you guys, if I was starting all over again and I had a budget and I was very interested in vintage audio, no doubt the Sony STR series would be my number one goal as a collector, would be to put that whole series. I think it's about 10 unit stereo amplifiers together, because although they never had the eye candy appeal and the beauty of, say, the Marances with their blue, the blue lamping, and the Harman Kardons and the Fishers, the mystique of the Fishers and the expense of the Macintoshes and all that, they were outstanding in their quality, and probably more Sony STR units survived from the 1970s per capita than any other make of stereos from that period. Okay, that's very good. Thank you, James. This was the wrecked one? No, yeah. This was the wrecked one, and I've come back, and my replacement unit, or the unit that I bought for parts, James, ended up being a much better unit than the unit I was working on. And why waste your time if I paid like $5 plus $25 shipping for a parts unit to replace it, and the damn replacement unit was 10 times better than the unit I was working on. I'm like, I'm crazy to spend my time doing a restoration on the other one. I'll just part that out and list up individual parts and components. Yeah, Rob says I grew up on this, so it's sentimental to me. It's sentimental to me too. And today our objective is to do a recap here on the power supply, actually the amplifier board here, get that done. And in most of the units, you'll find if you're going to have problems with the units, it's almost always going to be in the amplifier unit, because they get that big surge of power. They're often overrun. If we were saying in computer terms, we would talk about being overclocked. And these units take a beating. Hi, Jasmine. Nice to see you, baby doll. Thank you, David Hernandez. Thank you. I'm an old sea dog, but I enjoy that. Thank you so much. So what we want to do today is address that. The other thing I want to do is, this unit powers up nicely, but I'm not getting any real output into the speakers. I'm getting output into the headphones, but I'm not getting output into the speakers. So I got some problem. It's probably some of the electrolytic capacitors are bad on this amplifier board here on the side over here. So we have to be very careful. Hi, Judith. Nice to see you, honey. Welcome aboard. I don't think we'll complete that today, but one thing I want to do early on, I want to test. The other thing that's not happening is the stereo light is not lighting up when I tune the dial. When I turn the tuner up and down the aisle, if I land on a strong radio station, it should be able to detect that it's stereo coming through, as opposed to monaural. It should detect that it's stereophonic broadcast. The little light here is not lighting up, and I don't have a magnifying glass to look closely at that light, but I do have some light bulbs that I bought from Russia. Hey, greatest ever, nice to see you. I got some of these replacement little light bulbs from Russia, and this shows you the extent that I have to go to to get replacement parts to work on vintage audio units. There aren't a lot of us left in the United States that work on old tube and old solid state stuff. So I feel like I'm privileged to be one of the last few, but as a result, we have to source a lot of our stuff from China now, and these very delicate little strips of bulbs on here. Yeah, I hope Judy says I want a vintage console. I hope you look at the videos on my Motorola 1961 Motorola 21 tube stereo console, 3-channel. You'll see the restoration that I did on that. So I want to the first thing I want to do is quickly test this and make sure that it's not the just the light bulb that's gone bad, as opposed to the detector circuit for that. So let's see. So what I've wanted to do is I've got one of the little replacement bulbs, and I'll be moving this cam up and down here, and I may actually go inside and get my little stand to stick that on. I thought I had a little teeny tripod stand out here, but I don't in the unit. But I can just lift this off and just show you guys here. And come over here, you can see I have one of the little Russian bulbs. Maybe you can see it hooked up there. You see it hooked up. So what I want to do is throw the power to that very carefully, making sure not to short out. I have some alligator clips, and I have it hooked on the tuner board here. I have the black and the green alligator clip, so I can make a connection there. And then we'll carefully flip the power. We want to be careful. We don't want to short anything out. Okay, so the unit is now on. You can see that kind of lit up. And what I'll do is I'll turn the lights off here, so we'll be able to see that light up if we hit something on the dial that should be in pretty strong. I do have an antenna hooked up. These Sony units are legendary for their ability to pull in FM signals. So let's go ahead and test this and see, in fact, if it's the light that had gone bad on there. So what I'll do is carefully tune down the dial. Let's start at the upper end up here. And then we'll come down, and that should theoretically light up if we hit any kind of strength on the channel or anything. So let's see if we get anything on here. No, so I'm going to make sure I still have that. Set up. Right, I'm really surprised because I would have thought that bulb was bad. So let me double check that. Take a little look here. These leads are so delicate. Let's try it again. Oh, there we go. We got some light now. Okay, there we go. Hey, hey, Gordon. Nice to see you. Good afternoon, Keith Gregory. Okay, so I had a tiny bit of a short on there. Those leads on those Russian little lights are so skinny, it's hard to get an alligator clip. But now you can see this is functioning the way it should. As you go down the dial here, it's detecting stereo. And I have the antenna on, so it's these Sonys are legendary for pulling in signal. So, okay, so we know that one of the things that we have to do, that also varies in terms of its brightness to it. So there we go. We know we have to replace that. Bulb, and we do have the little bulbs that were ordered from Russia, and it took a long time to get them here, but I'm sure glad that I have them now. So let's go ahead and kill that. Okay. Okay, so that proves that. The other thing that you can do is also hook up your multimeter that I did on the DC voltage, and you can see the voltage bounce up and down as you get a strong signal on there. I'm on the tuner board there, hooked in over there with the red and black that you can see, picking up the signal up there to the light and just verifying that. So it's very important to do that. I'll put this up top side now. Oh boy. And I think that we'll start the recap process on this unit. Now, why would we recap a unit? Because the electrolytic capacitors take a beating in these units, and they're the things that dry out inside. They're the things that burst. They take the hardest wear and tear of anything on the unit besides the controls. And as a result, they tend to wear out. Sony uses very good quality, though, so it's kind of a rarity that they don't hold up that well. So what we got to do is come in here, and I'll show you guys. Let's get the light back on here. Over here. This is the board that we have to remove. The amplifier board here, and we got to be very careful. These things are very brittle. Hey Jalen, nice to see you, sweetie. Good afternoon. We got a screw down in the bottom there. You probably can't see it. There it is. You can see it right down there. We got to remove that, and we got a screw on the other side, and we got to be very careful lifting this out because these boards are notoriously thin. Okay, so that's our goal right now. And the other thing to do is we got to make very sure that the unit is disconnected from power or it will short out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the power from that, and it's nice. This is a grounded unit. Very, very nice here. Kind of rare for stereos in the 70s to be grounded. So we have no power going to the board now, so I'm going to go ahead and get the screwdrivers and get this removed here. Put you guys back up top side again. Kind of flow along there. So I'm going to get my screwdriver and see if I can remove that. I have the desoldering iron and everything ready to go. Here, I'm not going to need my multimeter for a while. Put that over there. So welcome aboard to all of you audiophiles and others here this afternoon. Going to be carefully removing this board, so I need to get my long, skinny screwdrivers now. See if I can get that removed without damaging anything. That is a long way down there. Luckily, I've got a super long job there that just might be able to reach down there. Got to be very careful that your power is off, because if you short out one of these boards, you have a very difficult time finding that again. Okay, there's one side up on that. Be very careful. These boards are so brittle. Sony made things nice for technicians to work on. I have to say that. So there we go. The board has now been lifted off to the side there. And I'm just going to do a quick visual inspection. I want to move it as little as possible because there's some paper and there's some tissue and some cardboard that keeps things from shorting out here, and I have to be very careful about that. So we're going to go through here, give you a look at that. There is the board. You can see the back side there. And the blue things that you see are all the electrolytic capacitors. We want to try to replace all of them. We got two channels on here, a left channel and a right channel. two transistors for each. You can see the big silver transistors there, the big disc transistors. You have a negative side and a positive side. It's called a push-pull configuration here. So I've got my desoldering iron, so we're probably going to stop. We're probably going to start at the hardest part and start on the bottom and just work our way up here. So I'm going to sit that over here. You might be able to view on that. Like I said, the less that we move these boards, the better. So I'm going to start with this this little gray one, and it's very difficult sometimes because you have to see the back of the board to try to align where they're coming through. Hey, Jack Thompson, nice to see you, sweetie. You have to look at the other side of the board. You have to do a visual inspection too to make sure that there's no burns or anything that looks like a component's overheated. I know it looks very complicated, but there's definitely a flow to it. It's like a two-cylinder car. There's two valves for each cylinder, intake and exhaust here. So, okay, so it's one way to think of it: two channels, two cylinders, two valves per channel. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. So let's sit that down there. I'll sit that over here. Hi, Luke. Nice to see you. Welcome to the shop today, my friend. That's it right there. Okay. So I'm going to try to check the alignment on that first one to see where I think that one comes through, and we have to be very careful because, like I said, this is a very old board here. It's very easy to destroy these. So I think it's right here is the first one. So I'm going to take my desoldering iron. All this does, it has a little vacuum pump. And you just put this over I think I'll probably start with this one. Let's see what we do here. Putting it over the leads there. Let that get good and hot. Then just pull the trigger, and it's push the trigger, and it sucks that solder right off. It looks like I did a pretty good job. Might be a little bit more solder on there. Okay, and there's our first little unit that we removed. Okay, that's good. Luke says, I like the shop. Electronics is my background. Yeah, it's my passion, vintage electronics. So there's our first unit. It is a 25 volt, 100 microfarad unit. And you got to remember these electrolytics, they have a positive side, this side, and then they have a negative side to them, and that has to be respected when they go in. So we're going to check that mount. See the negative side. I'm going to go over here and see. This is a board that I salvaged out of a DVD player. See if I might have any 100 microfarad 25 volt units here on here that I can salvage. Not that I'm cheap, right? That doesn't look like that. So I'll have to get some of my new units. Let's see, what are these? 6.3. Yeah, I need to get some 25 volters. Grab that. I get these replacement things by the truckload. These are sets of electrolytic capacitors here, all types of values. And they're really very beautifully organized in there. You can just look at the index at the top. And it gives you your voltage rating and your capacitance on that. So what we need here is a 100 microfarad 25 volts. I'll just go across here. 100 microfarad, 400 volts, 100 microfarad, 25 volt, and I have 20 pieces of them. It should be right down here. And there it is. Look at the size difference today and the size of, because of engineering and the way that they're made. Look at how much smaller they are now compared to what they're the same rating as it used to be. 25 volts. 100 microfarad, same identical unit. There you go, greatest. Yeah, challenge him. Hey, Nathan Smith, nice to see you, sweetie. I'm going to go ahead and put this unit in. Remember, this has a negative side. You can see the little negative sign on there, and it has the positive. So it's got to be put in the right way. So I'm going to put the negative sign, or else you'll explode it and maybe short out your unit. So there goes our first one in there. And I'm not going to solder that one yet. I'm just going to let it sit there coming through. I'm going to do a few of them at one time. I think it'll be a little more efficient. You can see it just coming through the wires right there on the board. I think it'll be a little more efficient if I just do, you know, 5 at a time or something like that. So there's number 1 in. Now we want to try to get the other little gray unit down in here. It's just really difficult to see sometimes where that, you know, I got to be careful. I got a transistor down here. I got everything else down here. Let's get our little desoldering iron. Hey, Robert Sharp, nice to see you. Welcome to the shop. We're doing a little electrolytic capacitor change out here today. You almost have to have, you got to do a little bit of guessing when it comes to this. Okay, that was good. Let's see if we can get the second leg. We guessed right on that. Let's see if we can get the second leg here. We did not guess right on that one. That's part of the transistor leg there. So should be right below that one. So batting 500. So let's get this other one. I want to be careful not to put any pressure on the board at all. Okay, and there comes the second unit out. You always need to have a good desoldering iron. This is kind of my specialty. I had a vacuum in the shop the other day. This is a 25 volt, 3.3 microfarad. 25 volt. I don't think I have a 3.3 and 25, but I do have a 3.3 in 50 volt, and that's perfectly acceptable to use a higher rated one in terms of in place of a lower one. You just can't put a lower voltage in place of a higher one. So here we go. Yeah, 3.3 microfarad and 50 volts. So this one will do fine. So we're going to go ahead and double check which way is positive and which way is negative here. They always put the let's see here. Let's go ahead and put our negative. The negative is always the shorter lead. Okay. Pop that one in and spread the legs on the back. That one will be ready to solder down in a couple minutes. So 2 down. Welcome to all of you into the shop today. Change the camera position a little bit. You can see a little better. there. And I'm just changing out this amp board, the electrolytic capacitors on here, slowly moving from the right side to the left side. I think next I'll get this this big boy right here. I'll remove that. Yep, spread the legs, baby. That's what we say in the shop when you spread the legs on that. We're going to go ahead and remove this one. Really hard to see how these align sometimes. You just got to take a chance. And I believe, yeah, I think I totally missed on that one. Well, no harm, no foul. Plenty more to choose from. Really missing on that one. Boy, I was that bad on that? Like I said, guys, it's real hard sometimes to tell exactly where these things come through. All right. Tucker Poon just raised $38,000 for a new camper van. Really? Hey, Drew, that sounds a little sketchy to me. I know he used to have a. I know he used to have a van. Isn't that something? I don't ever think Tucker would take money. He's hot today with all the donations, huh? Sounds kind of sketchy to me. Doesn't sound like the Dave Displaced that I know. Okay. We just almost got this thing out of here. Okay, that one was really difficult to get out. Okay, on his channel. Oh, wow, Michigan State just lost to Syracuse. The world has gone mad. Joshy Bingham's still trying to get over UMBC beating Virginia there, huh? He's hot today with all the donations. Drew, that sounds so unlike Tucker Poon to Dave Displaced to take $1 from anybody. Let's see, 47 microfarad and 50 volts. Let's see if we have a 47 microfarad, 50 volt, and we do the third one down here. Here we go. We're now ready to replace our third one. Just double check the value, 47 microfarad, 50 volts. .47 microfarad, 50 volts. I think if Tucker Poon raised the dime, he would end up having to shut down his channel and run, as much as he hates e-beggars and stuff. Probably somebody, I have one of them what? One of them what? Hey Tara, nice to see you, sweets. So really, you all donated to Tucker Poon. I wouldn't imagine he'll be shutting his channel down in a couple days then, to tell the truth. Well, we got 3 done so far, so I think we'll go ahead and secure those 3 first. Well, the way Dave Displaced raged against e-begging, I'm really surprised about that. But like I say, I don't really care what people do. It's a free country. But I am surprised. So let's go ahead and secure these first 3 that we replaced here. Got the soldering iron all good and hot. And what I'm doing is just heating up the legs and heating up the board a little bit here, just to make sure I make a very good contact here. Okay, so let's get one more secure here. I have to go back, and some of the places I missed, I have to touch up and reconnect them too. Okay, I'm going to double inspect that. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's double check that. See how that looks. We got about 3 done so far. Oh, can't see that real well. Oh, okay, VMAC, nice to see you, honey. You have a very great evening too. Okay, no problem. This is just more of a for stereo and people that enjoy vintage electronic repair and that kind of stuff. But I'm very honored that you came by. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clip these leads off. Here you can see all those leads have been soldered down very nicely now on the board. I'm going to go ahead and take that. Robert Sharp asked a good question. Is there any risk of damaging nearby components with the soldering iron in close proximity? Actually not, because the heat doesn't transfer well on the along the pathways, the copper pathways. It only stays within that particular circle that's mounted. I'm going to get my little clippers now and clip those leads off. They're like a short waiting to happen. Here. 5,000 pairs of wire cutters, but you never find one when you need it. Let's go ahead and cut off these little ends. Make sure that your unit is not powered or not hooked up at all, or you'll short things out. You cannot leave loose pieces laying around the unit. They'll find their way and short right out. So, okay, they are all trimmed off, looking good. All right. Hey, you too, VMAC. Nice to see you, sweetie. I really appreciate you coming by. This isn't everyone's cup of tea, but there's a really strong technical community on vintage audio, ham radio, and stuff like that. Drew's here. He is a a big-time ham operator and member of the ARRL. So, okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 done so far. And before I even think about sticking that power back on again, you better believe that I'll check the polarity of all of those electrolytics that I changed out. I don't want to short anything. So, but you just got to keep the power off one board at a time, okay? One unit, one piece at a time, and just double check your work. I've seen the smartest guys on YouTube just absolutely fry their boards, just not paying enough attention. I'm really surprised about that Drew with Tucker Poon. I never even knew he was fundraising, to be honest. Really surprised. Yeah, I love that worksheet you have there. It's so old and vintage, is perfect. Don't you love this, Nathan? I kind of thought that you would appreciate that. You got a good eye for things. I actually found this. I hate to say it. I found this in a trash heap, and the arm was broken off the side. And I just went ahead and re-glued it. You know what's nice about this? It has a brass bar along the bottom here too, on top of the wood. It is really a beautifully built unit. Really beautifully built. Really nice and comfortable to sit on to work. So I really love it. I really love it. Okay. Let's see, we got that, get that unit out now. Let's see if we can pull that out. Yeah, Nathan, I knew you'd have an eye for that, honey. You got a good eye for fashion and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. This is a 25 volt, 3.3 microfarad. So let's see, 25 volt. 3.3. What I'm doing is coming up to my kit here and just pulling out the appropriate size. 25 volt, 3.3. And I'm going to use a 50 volt again. You can always use bigger, but you should never use smaller. You can always use higher voltage, but you should never go lower. Okay, so I'm going to use a 50 volt 3.3. Yeah, it swivels real nice. It's beautiful. It's really nice. And like I say, it has, instead of having a wood piece on the bottom, it has that brass on top of it. It really makes it super. So it's really a high-end unit. When I pick up junk, I try to get good junk, right? So I don't try to come home with just total dreck. Bring that home. Let's go ahead and put this unit in. Okay. There goes the next piece in. We'll just spread the legs on that baby. Okay, yeah, it's really a nice unit. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about, the brass on the foot of this thing. Pardon the webcam here, but look at the brass on the bottom there. And that brass is all the way around. I've never seen a stool that had brass. And this is all maple, all solid maple. You can see where the arm was broken off, and I repaired it and glued it there, and it's as good as new. Nice finish. Beautiful chair. Beautiful chair. I don't, Drew, I don't understand that. I really don't, because you know, the way Dave Displaced always went on about I guess you don't call it e-begging. I don't know. Look, it ain't my business. I don't care what. I'm the one that doesn't really care what people do on YouTube. If it's allowed by YouTube, it's cool. I don't have any issue with it. He would have been the last person I would have ever picked out in the community to have done that. That's all. That's the only thing that surprised me. I don't have anything. I've always liked Dave. I don't have any problem against that. I'm just flabbergasted it's him. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a 60s style chair, doesn't it, Nathan? Let's see about getting this. Actually, this little leg broke off on this one. This one's so weak here. Okay. I think the little leg broke off on that one. This is a 63 volt 447 microfarad here. Make sure we can get that. 63 volt 47 microfarad. .47 microfarad, 63 volt. Let's see, I don't have one there. Let me see if I have one on my salvage boards here. Okay, take care. Thank you, greatest ever. Really appreciate you popping by. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Thank you for your kind sentiments there. Let's see if I have one on these salvage boards anywhere. 16,470. 63, 470, 63. $63.47. Doesn't look like I do, but I will step up to a larger capacitance since I don't have the 47. Let me see if I have one that I bought over here. I have a whole cabinet here. $63. Yeah. Oh, it must be a weird size. I don't know. Doesn't seem too. Seems 63 volt, 47 microfarad. Got 16 volts. That's a pretty high voltage rating. Yeah, I'm gonna have to grab something over here. I don't even have anything in my kit. Oh no, now he's banning folks. It's going to be real problematic for him, Drew. I'm telling you. I feel kind of sorry for him. That's not a road that you want to go down there. Hey, truth, the whole thing seems real fishy to me. $35. Yeah, we hit a little stop here, guys. We got a little break in the action. We got a little weird value here. All right. Let's see, I have another set that I have a different company. Let's see if maybe it's in here. Hi, Fatima. Hello. Hi, Jody. Welcome to the shop. We hit a little bit of a glitch here. Trying to see 63 volt, 47 microfarad. 47, I got 50. Well, it's not something I would normally do. It's going to be 13 volts undersized for it, but I'm going to go ahead and pop in I really don't have a value like that. So 47, I got a 50 volt, so I'm going to go with the 50 volt. I would never recommend that you do that yourself, but I'm going to do it here. Let's see if I got. Nice to see you, Jody. Hi, Lou. Long time no see. How are you? Welcome to the shop. Wow, Lou is here. One of my old moonshining buddies. Nice to see you, babe. Very nice to see you. Normally, I would not recommend doing this. 47 microfarad, 50 volt. But I'm not one that's 25 volts. I'm not one that runs my units up like crazy, so I'm not worried about that voltage. I just don't have anything else. That's really disappointing. Really disappointing. Hey, Carl, how you doing? I'm not going to build together either, so I'm not going to add parallel capacitance. Let me double check my board here. I hate to do that stuff. That crap is cheesy when you do that. 235. Okay, take care, Nathan. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have 100 volt. Can you believe it, Drew? I'm still in shock about. I'm still in shock about Dave displaced Tucker Poon. Man, the way that guy is railed about e-beggars and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm comfortable with this, so I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, I don't have any darn stuff that's I don't have any 100 volt crap at all. Let me just double check over here. Well, Drew, as usual, my friend, you are my good luck. Yeah, I'm not going to undersize it. As usual, you are my good luck charm. There is a 100 microfarad 63 volt right on the mark. I just take the capacitance up on that, and that'll be super fine. Very good. I'm very happy about that. So we'll go ahead and pop that one in. No, I'm not gonna put an undersized on there. I'll just suck it up and forget about it and call it a day. Ain't gonna do that way back. Ain't gonna do that, my friend. I could tell myself I'm not gonna drive the unit, and the next thing I know, it's all screwed up. So I'm not gonna do that. I am happy to have that. So I'll go ahead and secure that on the board. Take that capacitance up a little bit. Drew's my good law. How rare 100 volt caps? They're not. This is for the power supply here, and for the yeah. So they're pretty rare. 100 volt. 100 volts are not real common for these units. Most stuff tops out. No, I'm gonna. Drew, you were my good luck charm. I've got the 100. I got the 63 volt right there. I'm happy as can be. I am very happy about that. So I don't have to screw around with undersizing that. I hate to undersize voltage. I don't even do it. I just thought I had a bigger selection in there, but that's a pretty rare size. The 100 the 63 volt. You get above 50 volts. It's pretty rare. Okay. All right. So how are you doing today, Chair? Everything going good with you? Go ahead and clip those leads off. All right. Yeah, looks pretty good. A little touch up there. I'm sure I have a few 100 volters. Sure, I have a few 100 volters, but I have to go searching manually through all this crap I bought out of this guy's shop in Cambridge. And I don't really want to do that today. So thank goodness that looks pretty good right there. Making sure our connections look good and solid. We don't have any bridging here, which is good. I'll tell you, I'm really surprised, Drew. I'm really shocked. You know, I've always liked Dave, but man, he just went for it in a big way with that stuff. Okay, so that is that. Of course, I'll double check everything before I put power to it. All right, looking good. So we're moving right along here. Looks good. Put down there, positive, negative. Okay, we got a couple boys in the middle here. I'll tell you, Drew, aren't you a little surprised by that? I'm kind of put a tickle in your pickle. Tell you that. Well, he's bringing quality content, so I guess it's worth it. Really? Did you say 38,000 or 3,800? Which was it? I see a real difficult future for, man. These ones in the middle are really difficult to scope out exactly where they are. These ones are really difficult. Turn that to the light a little bit. 38,000. Who in the hell? You got to be bullshitting me. Is that the real Drew? Let's see. You hate to have to do that. Yeah, that's it. Man, that's unbelievable. I thought you were pulling my leg. Yeah, Joseph, I'm doing real good today. Joey D in the house. Joe, thank you. Today's the first day. I'm feeling about 90% this afternoon. That medicine is really working great. I'm back in the shop doing stuff that I love doing here. So yeah, very excited. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I can't tell you how excited I am to be back in the shop. I'm going to grab these two over here on this side here. These are going to be a little difficult over here. I want to grab these. I'm not sure what these are. But it just jumped. I think somebody must be spoofing or something. Nobody's donating that kind of money. Not in our community. Sorry. I mean, I'm on the crazy train. I always have a permanent seat, but I'm not that much on the crazy train. There ain't no way. There ain't no way. I mean, the guy's a corporate controller or something, isn't he? What a world. Okay, there you go, Drew. It's a spoof, just having fun. I was going to say, man, there's no way if I had to pick one person on YouTube, there's no way I would ever pick Dave Displace to do anything like that. I mean, he's a class act all the way. He really is. Isn't that funny? That is funny as hell. Okay, so that one's pulled. Let's see what we got here. Okay, you want the truth? I'm the one who gave the whole. That's just a tax refund. Hey, Linda Francine, good to see you, honey. 330 microfarad, 25 volts. 330 micro, 25 volts, kaboom, right here. Look at the size difference in these now. Teeny tiny, amazing. Yeah, I was going to say, Drew, you really had me going there for a minute. I'm like, I better get a hold of Dave quick and do a 5150 do a 5150 hold or something on him. You know, that's some scary stuff right there. Yeah, I'm glad to be back on the bench, Linda. Just doing a little recap work, and happy Sunday to you. Nice to see you, darling. Nice to see you, honey. Yep, size matters in this case. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through the whole thing today, but I'm going to try to do what I can. I'm going to grab this other one next to it. I got to be careful. I got some wires in here that are coming to the back of the board. I don't want to melt them. Yep, size matters. I was going to say Dave Displace is on a Tucker Poon is on a fundraising rampage today. Drew had me going good there. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the shop. Trying to get this Sony restored. Actually, this is the parts unit I bought. It's better than the original I was working on. It said, "Why fight City Hall?" Teflon. Yeah, thank you, Yank, and I appreciate that, sweetie. I've been taking it real easy today. I'm actually feeling good. My stomach's feeling good. Of course, it's not nighttime, but thank you, honey. Much appreciated. Thank you for being such a sweetheart. It's a little dicey to get this one out. Teflon coated the the Teflon. I doubt if this is Teflon. Okay, so we got negative on the downside there. Oof. Pulling the whole damn shop apart here. All right, so we got two of these babies. You can hear Georgie barking. 330, 25 volts. Drew, sometimes I just want to spank you. You know that? Yeah, I don't think. I think Teflon wiring was in the future for this unit. Yeah, there goes one down. I think we'll get that one hooked down first. Just taking my time, enjoying myself today. Robert Sharp, how you doing, my friend? Beautiful. All right, we'll try to clip them off. Don't want any bits of wire, stray wire around. Nothing but a potential short. Okay, there goes number one. Let's get another one of those 330, 25 volts. Oh, baby, do it. Drew, you're incorrigible. You know that? Drew, I got your message on the thing this morning. I did also look at Airbnb in Florida, and I was very impressed. There must be a regulation around Clearwater that you can't do like an Airbnb rental unless it's 90 days. So that makes it a pretty decent price for a lot of. We were surprised, like 3,500 to 5,500 a month for a really nice condo rental on Clearwater Beach. Look real good. Robert said, I still have my Pioneer SX1250 I need to have repaired. That's a big ass unit. I'd say send it, Robert, but the damn shipping on that would be unbelievable. But that's a unit definitely worth fixing at 1250. That's a real collector's item. That's a sweet, sweet, sweet unit. One leg in. Hate that the other leg got bollocksed up in there. Some of them can be hinky. Watch out, and they've been having some trouble with Jesus. Is anything work in the world anymore? They do have the feedback ratings for the Airbnb, and some of these people have done pretty good. I'm sure others are just total shysters out there, you know. I am concerned. It's been in the news. I am concerned about that. Yeah, Robert said, I used to take my equipment to a place in Berkeley called Resistance Repair, but they aren't around anymore. What's it? Just doesn't power up, Robert? What's the problem? What are the symptoms that it's having? Or as they would say, what's its basic malfunction? What is your basic malfunction, my man? All right, that's looking good. We're actually, we don't have a hell of a lot more to go on here. Yeah, do some research. Now, you mentioned I should talk to somebody. Does she have experience with long-term rental? I thought she was always just on the go, 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 go. So, boy, George is barking like crazy out there. I'm staying hydrated too. I'm still drinking a lot of fluids and stuff. Cheers, guys. Oh, my pile of old parts just keeps growing and growing and growing. Mitchie Con. All right, let's get these two big babies here in the center if we can. I mean, we're definitely a go for Florida, Drew. So that's the exciting thing. We'll be able to spend time with you, and we're probably going to get a 3-bedroom, 2 or 3 bedroom place. So money's not so much the object. So. We are excited. We just decided it was time to start getting some feedback from some people. Thank you, Fatima. Nice to see you, honey. One of my great subscribers from Brazil there. Sometimes these things have a little glue on the board. That really sucks. Oh boy. 26 people watching. Wow. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the workshop. We're really deep into the repair of this vintage Sony STR-7065. Actually, we're working on the replacement unit. It was so much better than the original. Sometimes you just can't fight City Hall. Sometimes you just get lucky in life. Thank you, Fatima. Elvis was filming women and small children again at the beach. He kept zooming on the big women in bathing suits. You better be very careful, Carl. I'm going to tell you what. I've told him a million times. YouTube has zero tolerance for that stuff. Zero tolerance. You got to be an idiot to do that stuff now. Absolute idiot. Okay, this is a 50 volt, 47 microfarad. That's a pretty easy one. He's going to get shut down. It'll be his own damn fault. That shit's just perverted. Stuff. Let me talk about my crazy stuff. I don't swing the camera on people. That's for damn sure. Always ask somebody if you can be in their if they can be in your video. This guy's like a nut. Boy, I wish I had Drew's eyesight. See, hey Perry, love the channel and contribution you made. Curious about make and model of Variactor. This is a, it doesn't even have, this is a model TDGC 0.5 here, and I've had this for years. Model T 500 volts, made in China. I don't know. I picked it up secondhand from a shop that went out of business, because most of my stuff comes out. And I also have an isolation transformer that I use too. So yeah, You got to have a good variac to bring stuff up. Yeah, a variac just varies the voltage. You can bring the voltage up very slowly. Like now that I've capped this board, I want to bring the voltage up very slowly when I retest it after I double. I'm going to check, double check, triple check everything. But then when I get it remounted in again, I got to be very careful to bring the voltage up very carefully. Yeah, it's a variac. That's correct. Got to bring the voltage up very slowly. I could destroy a lot of components here. Caution is always good. Let's see what time it is, 3:07. Yeah, that's right. It wouldn't work with today's technology. Grazie, Fatima. Grazie. The lovely Fatima. Yeah, they wouldn't work because you have to hit that minimum voltage. But this is one big reason I like some of the old stuff. It's like working on older cars. Remember, you could almost sit in the hood and do your work on them. You didn't have to worry about plugging in a computer. You just used your brain. Is it fuel? Is it compression? Is it electrical spark? I mean, you went down the whole thing. Yeah, Prego. Thank you, Rob. You guys are so much smarter than I am on here. I'm speaking Italian. Rob's like, Rosie, lift your fucking game on that stuff. That's pretty funny. Okay, there's one of them down. We got another one down below here. We got to grab another one. Our parts pile is really growing there. We've been going to town on this board today. I got some that are a little bulgy too. Definitely have some leakage and some other issues on a couple of these. So yeah, probably smart to do this work. Just get this stuff done. I gotta grab this one. This one's really difficult here. I'm gonna take a shot here. I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you, Eddie. Eddie says you're looking better. Yes. Has sound gone choppy or is it okay? It looks like it's still okay here. Testing. I'm feeling a lot better today. Thank you, sweetie. I'm feeling like tremendously better today. It's a bit choppy. Okay. I'm going to just refresh. Give me a second here. What I'm going to do is just refresh a second. I'm going to F5. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. I just F5 there to do a reconnect. How is it now? How's the stream now? Is it better now? Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Usually when I refresh it, it clears up. Okay, thank you, Phil. Thank you, sweetheart. Much appreciated. Phil is my co-pilot, and Phil, I have missed you around, baby. I have missed you around. I'm having a hell of a time getting the right one here. Some of these guys do this stuff all day, every day. They can just nail these things, kaboom. I'm not that good. I've just totally failed on this one. Yep, there's some success. Phil, I don't think I've seen you in a while. I just blobbed solder all over the damn board. There's a little mistake. Damn thing. Oh, wow. Wow, Phil. Good for you. You're a very caring person. The damn desoldering iron just puked all over the circuit board. Son of a bitch. There's a short waiting to happen. Damn, that makes me mad. That thing just puked all over that board. Oh, shit. Yeah, I've been doing electronics repairs for years, Eddie. I'm just trying to simplify life a little bit now and kind of get away from some of that. I'm buried in enough projects for a lifetime right now. You know, it goes from fun to being a job, and then every week I got people pissed off that yeah, you're really you're a very noble person, Phil. I guess that's why I love you so much, because you define awesome in my life there. So there's something always very special about Phil. 100 microfarad, 25 volts. It's one of the people I really admire on YouTube. 100 microfarad, 25 volts. Isn't that nice to adopt some to stand up to that and do that? I just think that is incredible. That is incredible. I tell you, I got some quality people in my life. I'm so lucky. I told Jen this morning. I said, "Do you know how many people have written and texted? How you doing, Rosie? How you feeling?" My problems don't amount to a hill of beans compared to what some people go through on a daily basis. But I'm just so lucky. I got such wonderful friends. Isn't that amazing? Phil, you're just an amazing person. I'm giving you a big hug. If you had boobies, I'd be giving you a booby rub. Booby bumping. I got to be careful. That damn desoldering iron just puked all over the board. Yeah, we love you too. But I tell you, Phil just always amazes me with his selflessness is just incredible. And Phil's not a spring chicken. I mean, he's a good-looking guy. I mean, he's not an old bat like I am, but I'm just saying it's a lot of responsibility for Phil to take on. But you know what? He just steps up to it one day at a time. I mean, it's some pretty amazing stuff. I mean, that is pretty amazing stuff. That's why people on YouTube, I mean, there's a lot of bad eggs on here. I'm not a good egg, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people that just blow me away with their kindness. I'm just selfish, Phil, because I miss you being around. So, but you got that going in. That's pretty cool. So we're moving along, everybody. We got 22 people streaming along on the repair and recapping of the board. Here today, we have made dynamite progress on that. Time to try to bag another one. These things get really difficult to get now on here. Thank you, Eddie. You're always very sweet to us, honey. Boom, right there. Got that one. Yeah. Now, where's the other leg of that? Huh? Which way is that going up? There's I'm just thinking about Phil, and there's a kid that'll probably have a decent shot at life that he would never have otherwise without a Phil in his life. It's pretty amazing. I don't know what this blob is here. That's our super blob. Nice to have you guys along today. Yeah, he's starting all over again, just as my youngest is about, but someone has to step up for these two poor kids. Yeah, Fatima, you're amazing too. I love Brazilian people are very sweet too. Fatima is one of my amazing Brazilian subscribers there. Viva Brazil. I don't know, guys. I'm having a hell of a time finding where this one's coming through. Got to run out. Okay, take care, Drew. Thank you, sweetie. Thanks for being along. Love having you here. Love, love, love having you here. I'm having a real problem nailing this taco at the bottom here. This one's really pissing me off. Gonna have to carefully get my hands in here without destroying the board. And blue worked it out right there. Look at how tiny this one is. 25 volt, 3.3. 25 volts. It's not going to be in this one. 25 volts. I'm going to have to use a 50 volt. I don't have a 25 volt, so 25 volt, 3.3, 50 volt. 3.3 50 volt. Look at how tiny that baby is. I never asked you, but do you see the real lead solder on these rather than brittle lead? I see the brittle lead. I see the actually I see the original great leaded solder, and this is this silver. I mean, I paid up for the good Malachor stuff, some of the good stuff. It's a 60-40 alloy, but it'll definitely never be what we used to use in the old days. That's for darn sure. Let me see here. I'm going to need a lot of light down here to look down here. Negative is to the downside there. You know what people go crazy for down here, Phil, is all the Mullard tube stuff from Great Britain and stuff. That was the probably the best tubes ever made were Mullards in the world by far. And one of my favorite videos to watch has been the Mullard factory there in the 1950s producing the tubes, or 1960s. Susie, how are you, sweetie? Yeah, I got my strike removed today, so I'm back to live streaming just for shop work and some rare other stuff. Generally, the Rosie Murphy channel will always be for live streaming, but for shop stuff, it's nice to be back. The strike is gone. I'm real happy about that. Nice to see you, beautiful. For your age, I can't believe you don't wear glasses. I'm kind of blessed. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have high cholesterol. I have no medical issues. I look like I'm 20. No, I don't need glasses or anything. So I'm a real work of something, a real piece of something. Don't say it, Bill. Don't say it. Between you and Jody, my UK squeezes over there, you guys keep me young. Oh, that was 3 months ago. Skiwee struck me. Skiwee did it. Tara and I were discussing Gone with the Wind, and I used a quotation out of Gone with the Wind. It had the N word in it, and Skiwee took it all out of context and reported it to YouTube, as if I would ever be racist in any way, shape, or form. And the next thing I knew, wham! Strike City, USA. That was it. That was it. You're a sweetie. This thing's right in the way. Sorry about that, guys. I think we're getting pretty close to completion on this board. Well, that's Skiwee. Skiwee's always out for. Skiwee's all about Skiwee and getting people nailed and all that stuff. The good thing about Skiwee, he's an equal opportunity fucktard. So he doesn't, everybody's fair game, which makes it okay. That being the case, I don't really care that much. That's just kind of Skiwee being Skiwee. That's what Skiwee's all about, right? That's funny. So okay, now we got two more. This is going to be kind of difficult, guys. I never like the ones that are in the center. They're always the most difficult for me to get to for projecting down. So I kind of take a screwdriver and I hold it over top of it and I drop it down to the board, and I think I've got the location here. Well, I had the location, and then let's see if I can get this one here. Maybe I got it. Okay, wow, I nailed that first time, right on, huh? All right. You know, but that's Susie, you know Skiwi. Skiwi always does that stuff. Man, I can't believe I just nailed that. That's another one of those 63 volt 47 microfarads. I'm gonna have to step up to 100 again. I'm gonna have to dig out a 100 volter again. God, I hope I got another one here. Ooh, I'm lucky right there. Yay. Right there. Yay. Take up the capacitance a little bit. No problema. No problema, chica. No problema. This gets a little nerve-wracking after a while. Yeah, that's it. That's what Skiwi is, Susie. Skiwi is a equal opportunity. I mean, he'll mess with anybody. He's all about having his own brand of fun on YouTube. To him, it's like a sheltered workshop with lots of fun and lots of goofing around. Okay, got that one through. Thank goodness that one went without a struggle. Woohoo. All right. Well, he's always usually on my chats too. I think he took off last night when I was on. I stopped early. Now, generally, he's always in there bugging me. So I was kind of glad he took a night off. He wasn't around last night. So I had a really calm, really nice chat for 4 hours last night. And then Susie, my stomach started acting up again last night, and that was it. Choo. I was done for the night. I figured might as well not press it. You know what I mean, honey? That was that. I think I got one more to change out here down below. That's gonna be a little bit of a guessing game on that one. Wasn't sure you'd be there, but also glad you're back. Yeah, I'm glad to be back too. There was a couple nights I thought I was going to haul off to the ER. The pain was so damn bad. I actually took an oxycodone from my surgeries, and I had breast surgery, I had butt surgery, I had every damn surgery under the sun, and I never felt like I had to take an oxycodone or anything. But man, I grabbed one, and I took that bad boy. That was the only way, the only way Tuesday night I was able to sleep, and I don't like to take prescription drugs and all that stuff, so that was a real rarity for me. I'm just working this last one off the board. Figure out where that's going. Yeah, it did. It was the only thing that allowed me to sleep because I couldn't take off any time from work. And I had too much work piled up. Oh, this last one's going to be a nightmare. Yeah, I went to work Monday. I went to work every day. I had to drive to work in Sacramento. Monday was local. Luckily, Jen was able to drive and pick me up. I mean, I'm telling you, Susie, I don't ever have. That was a damn hole in my stomach, literally. Yeah, I'm okay now, Phil. I'm feeling pretty darn good right now. 100 microfarad, 25 volt. I'm feeling pretty good. Thank you very much, my friend. I was had never in my life experienced something like that. Some people thought it was the I thought it was the salad that I ate, and I thought it was the stress of 7,600 miles of driving and every day kind of unfamiliar and stuff. But I'm not the kind of person that gets stressed out by that stuff. Might have been, I love spicy food. Marshall, of course, had to have that crispy Cajun. That crap was so hot. It'd like to blow my head off that night we had that. That probably tore a hole in my stomach. I mean, I love hot food. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have no fear of that at all. But that stuff was like, my stuff. Yeah, it might have been stress, Susie, or just a combination, or just lucky I never had anything in life, And that was finally my time. So, you know, come Wednesday or Thursday, Jen's like, hey, you know what? I made a doctor appointment for you today. And of course, I'm hemming and hawing. Oh, I don't need to go to the doctor, blah, blah, blah. And Jen's like, you know what? She's like, it's not negotiable. Like that. And she grabbed me by the ear, and the next thing I know, I'm at the doctor's office. That's it. She started singing Tina Turner, "We Don't Need Another Hero," I'm like, okay, honey, you're the boss. Because being in medicine and stuff, the last thing I want is to be around doctors and being, all that kind of crap. So that was kind of lucky. Sometimes you can't say no to Jen, though. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, at the end of the day, Jen is bigger than I am. So. So I guess what, Shrimpy? Get in the car. We're going to the doctor. Yeah, we're perfect together. But I don't want. She's like, shut up. Get in the car before I hurt you. Yes, ma'am. I think that might do it, guys. I think that might be the end of the line. We got to look real carefully here. Examine that. Hey, Larson, I'm 5'3". I am 5'6½", and Jen. Yeah, I was too weak to argue, and Jen is about 5 feet 9 inches tall. She's a big girl. She ain't no joke. Normally, you know, I kind of run the show. She likes that. And let me tell you what. She was in control, baby. You better believe it. This looks pretty good. I'm just inspecting the back here to make sure I don't have any. That's a good height, Susie. To make sure I don't have any bridges or any problems here with any solder bridges. I don't want any shorts. I want to take my time and really inspect everything. Make sure I got all of my solder connections are glistening. There, I'm not real. That's okay. Looking at things really carefully. Yes, she does care about me. I know. Like I say, normally I run the show, but she just stepped up. That was it. She knows the way I am. I would just probably die, you know. Looking down, you can see all the new components. They're much smaller on the board. Been a lot of work. I think we basically got about everything. Now it's a question of putting it back down and very carefully putting the power to it again. Put that back there. All right. I don't want anything. I don't want any short circuits. I don't want any problem at all here. Yeah. Don't you think I'm lovable? Huh? Like Rosie, you dick. Shit. You guys are too funny. Let's see. I'm missing one of my little screws here. I got one. Where did the other one get off to? Oh, it's still in there? No, it's not. Where did that go? Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Close this stuff up. Woo, check that sweet ass out. There you go. Yeah, it's better than it used to be, that's for sure. I got a lot of compliments on in Florida on my behind, which was nice. Never had that before. Okay, as long as that screw isn't somewhere else around here. Yeah, we have to definitely make sure we got good alignment on here. I don't want any shorts on that. Let me go ahead and try to get this screw down here first. This will probably be a little disaster. Just dropped it right down. That's Tell you, sometimes I'm all thumbs, guys, all thumbs. Rosie, looking back from the ocean, that was the postcard worthy right there. Was that it? Was that the one that made your day, Susie? Was that the one? I had two ladies asked where I got that. Two younger gals asked where I got that. Where I got that swimsuit. I thought that was kind of nice. I can see where the other screw is, so we got to kind of rescue that. Boom, right there. I thought that was kind of nice. There's not a lot to my, obviously, there's not a lot to my bathing suits. Very easily stick them in the palm of your hand for traveling light for sure. So, but it was a lot of fun. We really ended up loving Florida. We loved Louisiana. I don't know, Susie, if you saw the videos with Richard and Clayton. Wonderful couple down there in Baton Rouge, took all the time in the world with us. So yeah, I'll never forget that shot. You're too funny. You are too funny, girlfriend. You are too funny. Well, not everybody on the YouTube is a fan of my attire, but that's what makes the world go round, baby. Different strokes for different folks. All right. Let's see. I got a better pair of needle nose pliers. Let's see if we can get this second screw into position here. There we go. I always worry so much about short circuits. Got a lot of little papers on here, a lot of little tissues and stuff. Well, etched in your brain forever. I like that. I like that. Susie says, etched in the brain forever. That a girl. Well, the Rosie girl, she loves her girls. All right, there we go. There's one side down. Save the arcs for Noah. That's it. That's exactly right. I like the way you put that. That's pretty funny. That's exactly right. I don't want any shorts at all. I think I'm pretty good here. You never know. You never know. You just never know, Susie, at the end of the day. Trying to make sure I got nothing stuck underneath of this board. Wiring. It should be on the other side there. That damn thing came right up again. Oh, I am happy. I'm very happy. I'm cut out. I love to love the beach. I love to just chill out and catch the rays and stuff. So yeah, that's really a blast to me. Got to make sure to Keep these sides away from the metal. Hi, everybody. We're just putting the board back in here, or trying to. After recapping the of course, it wants to be a total pain in the bedoogle here. Let's see if that's going to work. I think that might got it. If I can sneak that screw down there now. Let's get that to hold that down in position. All right. This is going to be a little bit of a precision move. We got this screw on the end here. And you know what? I think I nailed it. I think I nailed it. Yeah, Bergs, I don't know what happened. I'm really discouraged sometimes with the moderating and stuff. I think that was left over from last time. You know I love you, babe. I would never block you on my chat. I was, of course, disheartened today to see that. All I can do, Chris, is apologize to you and say, of course, my intention's not to block anybody out on the chats, and I hope that you can forgive me and understand that. So, okay, Larson, take care. Maxine was really rocking that brunette hair, wasn't she? Isn't Maxine beautiful? She was so much fun to spend time with. Maxine, we just love Maxine to pieces. Jen and I absolutely adore Maxine and her family, and Morgan and Kim. We just can't wait to see them again. They're such beautiful people. I don't see Burbs. Greg said he didn't do it, so it was juice. Yeah. Well, remember, Greg's the one that kicked you out last week. So unless I unblocked you, which I didn't during the week, you would have stayed blocked there. So I guess I have some responsibility because I got up Sunday and I didn't do anything, Berg. So that might be my fault. Okay, I'm bringing up power very slowly to the unit now. This is really, really important. I'm going to put my headphones on too. I'm only running about 60 volts right now. Yeah, Max, I love Maxine. Jen and I just think of the world of Maxine and Debbie Lynn. All right, this is good news. I'm getting sound out of here, and I'm only at 60 volts. So let's take the power up some more. This has been a very complicated job to recap all that down in there. But the good news is I'm getting sound. I don't see anything smoking. All right, guys, here's the true test now as we wrap up today at 3:50 p.m. I have about 25 minutes before I have to start making dinner. That's my responsibility on Sunday night when Jen is not grilling. We're going to have spaghetti. Bobby's bringing some bread over. Let's hook some speakers up now and see if we solve the issue with the lack of output to the speakers. Let's go ahead and do that. Now that we recap the amplifier board, I'm kind of excited. I don't want to be too far ahead of myself, but I really love this STR-7065 unit. Keep your fingers crossed. We got some more recap work to do, but I'm getting good sound output from the speakers. It sounds like from both sides, so I'm hoping that we're going to get some output. Let me disconnect my soldering irons and all that. I'm done for that. Done with that for the day. Let me disconnect them. I don't want any burning. I don't want any accidental slips. I think I just disconnected the computer. See if I can plug that back in. Yeah, let me put that back in. I'm excited. I think our work has paid off. I don't know yet, but let's see. Let's see if we achieve some success. Oh, Robert's like, I thought we were talking electronics, not bathing suits. Well, they don't really consider mine like a bathing suit per se. It's a little... You guys are too funny. Let's go ahead and hook up some speakers here, and let's see if we get anything through here. Huh? How would that be? Susie was recalling my butt shot going into the water there, I think. All right, here we go. I think Drury had a smile on his face too, huh? Let's go ahead and set some speakers up here. We got the A channel and the B channel here. Let's go ahead and get all that there. I'm starting to get a little excited about this unit now, huh? Maybe that recapping has paid off. And then we just have a few more minor issues before we just do a general cleaning and all that. All right, there we go. One. Sony's always very high quality. All their screws, machine screws, are machined to such a high standard of perfection. Okay, there's one. All right. Yeah, Drury's a very good-looking guy, isn't he? He's an incredibly handsome guy. He really is, and he's as sweet as they come too. I mean, you talk about the perfect gentleman. Every time helping Jen get out of his van, and just, oh my goodness, so giving, and so drove us everywhere. Just a wonderful person. There were some other people that were in Florida that weren't on the video, Susie, that were really nice people too. But, you know, times being what they are on YouTube, they didn't want to put their names and their channels and stuff out there, which I understand. But we were really blessed in Florida to have such, to be with such wonderful people, and to meet Bina, Drury's companion down there. It was awesome. She was wonderful. Just really really good quality people. All right, here we go. All right, there's our, let's go ahead and put a little power to it now. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe we'll get some output from the speakers now, huh? Let's turn this baby around. Oh boy. Boy, that's a heavy unit. That's got to weigh about 40 pounds, that thing. All right, let's power her down. Let's throw the power to her. All right. Oh, you're too sweet, Susie. Thank you. Hey, Lady T, nice to see you. Okay, we're going to fire her up and see what we get now. We got our speakers all set. This will really be nice if we can bring this unit back to life. It looked like the amplifier board, some of the caps had gone bad. Let's bring up some power here. I think I'm getting both channels here. That's not even full power. That's about 90 volts. Let's take it up. Full power. Nothing smoking. Man, that sounds awesome.
All right, and Hertha wants to know, what's a good number of credit cards that I should have? Minimum 2.
You never see what you want to see. Never think to the gallery. You take the long way. You take the long way. Anyone seems to think the mood is
All right, guys. Well, tell me I am not pumped up. Success has been ours today. The ESR values, I think a way back check. I will get out my ESR meter. I'll have to dig that out. A couple of these caps I want to test. The equivalent series resistance on a lot of these is probably quite high. I'm betting that all the Elmas. Hi, honey. What's going on?
5 to 4.
Okay, I'll be in about 10 minutes or so. Okay.
10 4.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's the boss on the on the intercom. The ESR, but I'm betting some of the Nichicons are probably out of tolerance. There's all some of the values I took higher in voltage. A little of the capacitance I took higher, which is no big deal, from 47 microfarad to 100 microfarad is not going to make that much of a difference in a lot of the circuitry. The tone board still has some issues. Yeah, we have. It's not so much a walkie-talkie. I have a hardwired intercom, so Jen doesn't have to come out here to the shop, and she can save her steps. I've got an intercom mounted out here, so yeah, Mailey. Thank you, Eddie. She sure does love me, but I love her, and I put things like intercoms in and all that, so she doesn't have to bust her ass coming out and stuff.
Well, that's one way the music's walking. Diamonds on the soles of my shoes. Ta-na-na-na.
My goodness, Carl, thank you. That coming from you, Carl, that's quite the compliment. A master electrician and hobbyist there, Sky Carl, great guy. And Carl, that means the world to me to hear you say that. Recapping is something that probably 50% of the people screw up. And when you're on a really expensive vintage unit like the 7065, you really don't want to have any screw ups. There's no margin for error because, as you guys can see, these are absolutely beautiful units. They weigh 40 pounds. Carl's got the Pioneer SX-780, which is a dream boat like I have. We appreciate the vintage audio stuff. So yeah, no shorting, nothing like that. The tone board still needs work. We have tone, and we also have secondary channel control over here. We got to recap this unit too. There's also some caps down on the tone board. You may be able to see them deep down in here. I'm pointing the wrong direction. It's very hard, but down in here actually, that are a little bulgy in there. Some of the Nichicons, all the elements seem to be good. These need to go. These are exceedingly difficult to get out of the board here. And there's a few other things on the tone board that need some work too, to clean up some of these interstation issues on here. So this is really definitely a beautiful unit though. Very clean. No, the tone board is a disaster to work on. It's one of the things that most, when they design the stereo receivers, they always took into account which component boards were going to be the most accessed. The power supply board and the amplifier board are always the two. Very few things ever go wrong with a tone board, and I was very surprised that there's a couple bulgy capacitors down there that are probably with very high equivalent series resistance values that are not functioning within allowable limits of oscillation and things, and they're causing some problems on here. Hey, Kid Blood, nice to see you, my friend. I'm honored to see you here in my shop. Thank you very much. Well, that's going to be a conclusion today. We made a tremendous amount of progress. We went from a unit that had no output to the speakers to a unit that now has full output, full volume to the speakers. We need to clean up the sound. We need to get the tone board good, and we need to get the secondary detector board. Also seems to have some issues to it too, but the main thing is, can we save this repair unit? And remember, this is all that this thing was a repair unit. It was supposed to be a secondary unit to just pull parts off of. It actually ended up, you can see the gorgeous faceplate and everything on here. There's not a mark on this unit from 1972. This unit is pristine, absolutely pristine here. And for me to come across a unit like this for $5 plus shipping is absolutely amazing. This has a low pass, high pass filter, can run both filters on here. You have the muting, the loudness, the stereo functions, everything. Dual monitor functions, can drive 3 sets of speakers on here. It is an amazing unit. Well, Bergs, I'm just happy you're along. And once again, Chris, I want to apologize to you. It's never my intention not to have you on my chats. As you know, my weakness is I don't keep my phone with me. I would have seen your message last night. So I do, once again, I do really apologize to you for that. You know that. You don't ever have to ask if you know, if I did something. It's not my intention to do that. So yeah. Okay, Robert and everybody, and Susie and everybody, thanks so much for being on the Hangout this afternoon. It was very productive. A gigantic step forward to finishing this project and getting this thing on the wall of sound. It's going to be a fantastic addition to my Sony connection. Bergs, I'm not going to be an intermediary. I'm going to suggest that you write to Greg and take it up with him. Okay, I'm just saying, if I know that, I don't block you. Being blocked on YouTube is not the worst that can happen in this world. Yes, and it's not something that I generally have people blocked off. I've apologized and just hoping we can move forward on that score. And Joey D, good to see you too. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close down the Hangout, and thank you all for being on my good luck charms today and recapping and getting this unit going again. Thank you, Carl. Much appreciated. And yeah, Rob, good to see you. Thank you, everybody.